Hi, in this video we are going to continue the creation of the multi-page web application. This is a list of suggestions how you should use this video. The notes for this video can be found at this URL, which is loaded here. Okay, alright, so if we look at our Management Studio, we see that there's a products table. Inside the products table there's a list of the products with the image file name, which is going to be used to link to the image files that is in eg002 images products. So the file names matches the file names here, and then the product code and the product name will be used to construct the drop-down list. Okay, so we are going to do the drop-down list. Alright, so let's go back to our Visual Studio, order.aspx. Okay, we are going to go to the design view, so this is what you'll see. Okay, so this is the source view, and this is the design view. Okay, so let us create a data source to connect to the database. So let's go to tools, go to the toolbox. The toolbox may be hidden here, so you can open the toolbox and say I want to pin it. Okay, pin the toolbox so that the toolbox can be here. Alright, and then go to data, SQL data source, drag it to the design view of order, and say that you want to configure data source. You want to create a new connection, and that is a Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, and the server name is the name of this SQL Server, of course. Alright, but I don't really like to use this. I would like to use localhost. The reason is if I use localhost, if I move this application to another server with a different server name, it should still work. Okay, so localhost, SQL Server authentication. The username going to be web user, which we created in one of the previous videos, and then the SQL password is mypass. So web_user mypass, and select a database name. We select Kung Fu Panda Shop. Test connection successful, and I say OK. Alright, and connect to the database next. Save the connection string, of course, and specify the column from the database that you want to pull it from. I'm going to pull it from the products table. I'm going to select everything except the category ID. I don't really need the category ID. Next, you can test the query, and it's successful. So you pull the data from the database, and then you say finish. Okay, alright, so this is done. So what happened is, let's save first. So what happened is, in the web config, we created a connection string with all the connection information, okay, stored there. Let's go into order. So the next thing I want to do is let's look at the code here. Here you actually created a pull the data source, which is described in the web config. Okay, the connection string is described in the web config, and the data source is created here. Okay, the ID is data source 1. Alright, the next thing we want to do is to create the drop-down list. Okay, so let's go to standard, drop down list, drag the drop down list here, choose the data source, SQL data source 1, which we saw it just now. Data field to display, we want to display the name, of course, but the value is actually the product code. Okay, so you have that thing there. So save all. Let's test this. You will see the drop-down list here. Okay, which is directly from the database. And the next thing you want to do is you want to create a label here. Okay, select a product. So let's go to the source view. So this is your drop-down list. Right, that is after your data source. Okay, let's create a label before your drop-down list. Control S to save, don't forget to save. Come over here, you get the first part. Okay, alright, great. That's a good place to stop. In the next video, we are going to move on to the next part. Thanks for watching.